Hello everyone, my name's Tonge, storyteller, and I'd like to share with you one of my favourite short tales. It's a tale that was particularly popular in Tudor times. For this is a story about a trickster, a beguiler of the foolish, a coney-catching cunning man. We shall call him Hourglass, although no, he went by many different names long ago. For he travelled from town to town, village to village, house to house, wearing many different disguises. Sometimes a priest, sometimes a potter, sometimes a peddler of wares. But on this occasion, this day, he arrived at a certain town disguised as a doctor of physic. He went abroad about the town, claiming that he could cure any ill. Whether you have the sweating sickness, the pestilence, or the pox, says he, I shall cure them all, for a price, of course. Such were his boasts, they reached the ears of the director of the local hospital, who had many patients in his care who he could not cure. And so it was he went to see Dr. Hourglass. And the coney-catching cunning man, he said, Why, yes, I can cure all your patients' ills, whether they have the sweating sickness, the pestilence, or even the pox. I shall cure them all, for a price, of course. And so it was he made the director of the hospital promise 100 gold coins if he could cure them all. But such was the trickster's confidence, he said, Know this, if I cannot cure but one of them, I will not take a penny. Agreed? Well, the director of the hospital, he had an ear for a bargain. So too an eye, you might say as well, for now they shook hands upon the deal. And the following day, Dr. Hourglass, he arrived at the hospital. He was given a small chamber to one side of the great hall where he might examine the patients one by one by one. One by one by one they were brought before him. One by one they told him their tales of woe. For they told him of the boils on their bellies, of the boils on their backs, and of the boils on their... Let's just say many of them had sat down for quite a long while. And the whole time each was talking, Dr. Hourglass, he would scribble and scrape with pen upon parchment. He would tut, tut, tut. He would nod, nod, nod in all the right places. And when each in turn had finished their story, Dr. Hourglass leant in close and said, Listen, I like you. Do you like me? Good. Then know this, I've got a secret to tell you, but first you must promise to tell no one else. Do you swear? Well, when each in turn had sworn upon their very soul that they would not tell another living soul, he said, Know this, if I'm to cure you all, I must find the sickest one amongst you and burn them, and use their ashes to make a medicine that the rest of you will drink. If I'm to cure you all, said Hourglass, I must find the sickest one amongst you to burn. Well, having told each and every one of them the very same story that I've just told you, he went into the hall. He ordered that a great fire be set and lit. He ordered that all the patients be brought before him. And now Dr. Hourglass stood before them and called out, Let he who is the sickest one here step forward. But none stepped forward. And so he went from one to the next, asking one after the other, Are you the sickest one here? But each in turn shook their head and said no, saying they were not sick at all. Each said they'd been cured, and it was a miracle cure. And even though most of them hadn't walked more than a few steps in many years, all ran quickly from the hall. Well, so it was. The patients, they were cured for a day or two at least. The director of the hospital, he was very happy for a day or two at least. But Dr. Hourglass, he was very rich and very happy for a long, long time to come. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you all keep well.